Welcome back to Coast View. We have Milton Segarra, the CEO of Coastal Mississippi Tourism, with us now, and we're gonna cover the gamut. How are you doing, Milton?
Good morning. So nice to be back. Thank you so much, Ricky. Always a pleasure to be with you and your audience. Always.
You too, buddy. You're a real friend to the show, and you're one of you're sort of becoming Ed McMahon. My sidekick. But really do enjoy visiting with you because, as I have quoted you probably 100 times now, your observations early in the game about the need for coastal Mississippi to be seen as a safe place to visit is really important. So what I want to do is get the COVID stuff out of the way right off the bat, and then we'll shift gears and talk about what's going on with your organization these days, et cetera. I mentioned to you that I did a search as if I were a tourist to say, okay, what's going on with the COVID situation in coastal Mississippi? And as you know, there's been a slight uptick, and there was a headline in the Sun Herald and a headline in WLOX that actually popped up talking about even the word hotspot was used. But I want to really put this in perspective. There has been a slight uptick, but Dr. Nicholas Conger, who is an infectious disease doctor internist from Memorial, I had him on the show in the last day or so, and he put it in perspective. So let's listen to him real quick, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll shift gears. So how concerned are you about the uptick that we're experiencing, say, in Harrison County?
Well, it's always concerning. We knew that during the lockdown slowed the virus down, and we, like I said, we really never experienced our first wave. We had less than 2% positive people in our healthcare system. So that shows we really hadn't had it really well established here, which was good. But also the cases didn't go away. And so the lockdown was never going to make this virus magically disappear. So we always talked about it wasn't really a matter of when, but kind of how we came out of the lockdown and if we did it safely. And it's a mixed bag. I see some places doing a good job with their social distancing and avoiding cases. But there's a lot of people who I think have kind of decided that they don't care if they catch this. And so I'm not surprised that there's an increase in cases. And to answer your question, I have some concerns that things could get worse. But I'm cautiously optimistic because we do have better treatments and we do have better plans on what to do with patients, as they catch the virus.
So essentially, what he goes on to say is that with the tools that we know about, social distancing, face masks, washing your hands, not touching your face, and especially protecting the vulnerable, are the tools we have to our advantage, and we should use those. And for the most part, coastal Mississippians get that. But I want you to make your plea one more time. Why is it important that we be seen as a safe place to visit?
Well, to start with, Ricky, it's important that people knows that all the cases that the state of Mississippi we have right now, our coastal Mississippi, the 3 counties, is 4% or less in cases and death. So initially, that's a good sign about how we're dealing with this, and we need to keep that. And number 2, we just launched a new destination promise for health, in which we have partners that they have helped us to craft this Memorial System, Merit, Singing River Hospital System, in which what we're trying to do is to make sure, first, our locals, number 2, our people from the industry, and our visitors, when they come and visit, they will get what they're expecting, the experience they're expecting when they visit coastal Mississippi. But number 2, making sure that our industry employees are following the guidelines from the CDC, from the Mississippi State Department of Health, from the U.S. Travel Association, in order to guarantee, or as much as possible to protect as much as possible those visitors when they come. But it is important that the people that we live here in coastal Mississippi, we follow those, that we use our mask, that we maintain social distancing, that we wash our hands. We want to make sure that people feel safe. Right now, Ricky, and this is for me one of the most important changes after this COVID-19 pandemic, in terms of travel, safety and health issues are equally important than the hotel you're going to be staying or the airline you're going to be flying. If you don't have that, if you cannot provide as a destination that level of reassurance to any visitors, they will not consider you. As simple as that.
Yes, I see that, and you were saying that early on, and you had evidence to suggest that was going to be the case, and now that's the case.
Yes.
So whether I talk to Linda Hornsby from the Hotel Association, or whether I talk to Travis Lund from Beau Rivage, or you know, restaurateurs here in coastal Mississippi, they're all very, very focused on this. And you know, if you think about the casinos in particular, because of the concentration of people and whatever, I mean, they're leading the way in the industry worldwide in terms of how to do this and do it right. So people ought to really rest assured that if it can be done to keep you safe, the casinos here in coastal Mississippi are doing it, as are the other organizations that you might go visit. But still, this, you know, same thing's true. You can go on the beach and you can practice social distancing like you and I talked about before, and have your family units together. And the list just goes on and on. Anything else to say about COVID? But I mean, that's clearly the driving force, having a safe vacation. But any closing thought on that before we shift gears?
The only thing I could say, it's something that a friend of ours, Rob Stinson, told me the other day. He said, from my restaurant, The Reef, I wish I could have a camera because he can take a look to the beach, and they saw the people following social guidelines in the beach, you know. And that's the beauty of coastal Mississippi. We do have the space that people is looking right now. And this is what makes coastal Mississippi. We have our casinos complying with all the safety measures that they have put in place, and they have invested lots of money to accomplish that. But when you go to our beach or other facilities, we always provide that. And that's what people is looking for. So I think we have in this unique opportunity to take this industry after COVID-19 and really get more market share and take an opportunity and take our industry, especially for coastal Mississippi, to a higher level.
Milton, I mentioned to you I had the honor of having 4 governors on the show this week, all at one time. Governors Mavis, Musgrove, Barber, and Bryan, all at the same time. And at the end of the show, I did a little rapid fire. I asked them, if you had to pick one destination, what would it be? And they each picked their destination. But I want you to hear what Phil Bryant said. Governor Bryant, what's that one thing that you think of?
If I could just encapsulate the Gulf Coast, Deborah and I have been down the last 2 weekends. We get to just escape by ourselves. It is remarkable. Whoever I have ever brought down, or the conventions that we've had, people are amazed. They come back and said, I had no idea what this beautiful coast looked like. So, yeah, I'm probably going to get in trouble at the Civil Rights Museum. Obviously remarkable, the locations the other governors talk about. But the coast is so Mississippi. It's our vacation place.
Yeah. Well, we have so many amazing places, the history and the culture, the music. I mean, in every corner of the state, there's something special.
You got to go to the Delta.
You got to go to the Delta. Love the Delta. So
I can tell you. Maybe he will be our next spokesperson. I don't know.
Well, it was a great conversation because, I had 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and we had such a pleasant conversation. We talked about the Mississippi 30-Day Fund that's been put together, so 100% of the proceeds that are privately collected go to small business. But we had a chance to talk about the heart of Mississippi and so many amazing things about this state. It was great to see 4 governors together talking about this place they love so much and how life has changed for them in the pandemic and all that. But it was terrific. But yeah, Phil nailed it, didn't he?
Well, let me tell you, Governor Bryan is a true friend of the coast. Many times I was able to meet with him here for different situations. I remember how he personally got involved when we had last year the situation with the water intrusion at the Monicari Spillway. And he came here. He didn't send anyone. He came here with his team, and he was working side by side to all of us, trying to make sure that we come up strong from that. And actually we did. So those are the type of examples of leadership that Governor Bryan, one of them, we can share. But he was and he is a true friend of coastal Mississippi and the tourism industry. As a matter of fact, he's a great fan of cruising the coast. So he normally comes.
Yeah.
So that's another example of his how much he likes the coast.
Yeah, he bragged on his car the last time we talked. We've been on the show a couple of times and talked about my friend Pete Vicari, who does the Vicari auctions at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Said that if Pete doesn't sell his car for him soon, he'll be out there again doing his thing. So he really loves the cruise and the coast. But you know what he loves the most? And all the governors said this. He loves connecting with people. I mean, they all, from their own perspective, talked about the thing they missed most about being governor was connecting with this incredibly special place, that there is something about the heart and soul of Mississippians. Man, oh man. I mean, and I know that and you know that. You're not from here and you've been able to touch that. In fact, why don't we do this? Let's go to the break. This is Milton Segarra from Coastal Mississippi Tourism. When we come back, let's talk about, once again, how important the people of Mississippi and coastal Mississippi are to your efforts. We'll be back after this break.
Listen live or on demand and watch episodes of Coast View on your laptop, desktop, or on your phone or tablet by going to supertalkmsgulfcoast.com.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast View with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast View. I have Milton Segarra, who's the CEO of Coastal Mississippi Tourism. Before we went to the break, we were just beginning to kind of get into a conversation about the heart and soul of Mississippians, why this is such a special place. One of the cool things about the conversation I had with the governors was I shared with them that I had listened. It just so happened I did listen to a conversation between Steve Azar in his In a Mississippi Minute program on SuperTalk and Marty Stewart. They had a conversation, and they've been all over the world traveling and playing music and doing concert tours over I don't know how many years. And Marty Stewart said that no matter where he's been, he always comes back to there's just something about this place. There's just something about the people. There's just something about the heart of the people of Mississippi. And I mean, it's really our competitive advantage. You see that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you, and one more comment. Governor Bryan has been a great friend of our coast. We are 1/3, and this is very important that everybody knows. We are 1/3 of all the tourism industry business in the entire state of Mississippi. 1/3 of visitor expenditures, taxes, you name it, 1/3. So you see the importance of coastal Mississippi within the big scheme for the government, in the big picture. And I have to say, equally the same, Governor Reeves, Lieutenant Governor Hausman, Speaker Gunn, and the leadership in the House and the Senate, they do care about the coast. I've been in conversation with them. They are aware of everything we're doing, and they are supporting the coast and the overall industry for the state of Mississippi. Because even though we're the 4th largest industry in the state of Mississippi, I think there's potential to become top 3 very soon. So that's why the local leadership and the state leadership are looking to the tourism industry and especially the coast, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, is that not important? Gosh, that's so important. So, how long have you been here now, Milton? I don't remember the exact date.
I came in January 2018, so it's pretty much 2 years and a half.
Do you feel like you're a Mississippian now?
Well, the only thing I can tell you is that Mayor Billy Hughes, he's saying that I'm from Gaucher. I'm not. But I love it. I live in the Iberville. Mayor Rusty Quave is a great guy, and Clay, the office director, the city manager, they're doing a great job. And I do constantly, I'm talking with the mayors and the supervisors to see how we can get their input to make sure we convey the message that we need. Because at the end, and Ricky, this is a very special opportunity for us. What people is looking right now after COVID-19 is, number one, a place that I can drive and people can come here. Number two, a place in which they feel safe. And we can offer that. And the third one is a place in which they can enjoy. And here in coastal Mississippi, we can offer the excitement and relaxation at the same level. You can come here, spend a full weekend in one of our casinos, and enjoy all all of that entertainment and have a great time, or you can simply just go to the beach in one of our hotels or small inns, and you will have equally a great weekend. That's what people is looking for, and we need to make sure within the next 18 months we maximize that opportunity, because we need, at the end, we don't want to do everything we're doing just to go back to the levels we were enjoying in January and February of 2020. With this opportunity, what we need to do is to make sure we come up with a different business plan that will take this destination, coastal Mississippi, to one of the leading destinations in the south of the U.S. And I think we have the potential. And if we can get access to additional funding, believe me, we will deliver for all the businesses and the communities here in coastal Mississippi.
Well, as you know from my repeated mentioning of it, I am convinced of it, that the fact that this resiliency dynamic is in our DNA, that we're digging deep, we're finding the opportunity, we're able to rally around this moment. You know, just the conversation we have with Clay Williams and the conversations I have every day, everyone's aligned around the fact that coastal Mississippi, and Mississippi for that matter, has a competitive advantage, an opportunity in this COVID environment to operate in the unique way we need to operate and show people they can come here. And because we're geographically located where we are, people can drive in from all over the place in an easy half-day, day drive. It's just an incredible opportunity. Hey, one thing I want to make sure we talk about before we get too far away from it. It's so amazing to me to think that just a little over a week ago, Cristobal came and went. Tropical storm came and went, and then life goes on. But it left a mess on the beach. I've never seen so much, marsh grass and seaweed and whatever. But the Harrison County Board of Supervisors takes no prisoners when it comes to the beach, and we're lucky that Chuck Loftus is leading that effort. I've known Chuck for a long time. I actually said on this conversation about him on Facebook that I'm going to run him for president, because his ability to rally his team and get the beach cleaned up. They're almost done already, Milton. That's pretty amazing when you consider how bad it was.
I wanted to say something about that. First, yeah. Chuck is best. We're so glad to have Chuck on top and leading this effort. But I have to tell you, 2 days after Cristobal was here, I was on the phone. Supervisor Connie Rocco, president of the Board of Supervisors of Harrison County, she called me and she said, Milton, we are hiring this company. We have a contract. They will start tomorrow, and done. And look at that. It's been a phenomenal leadership execution from Ms. Rocco, all the supervisors in Harrison County, and also the other counties that they are making sure you can say the same thing.
Yes, they are. Hey, Milton, we're running out of time. We're at the end, but thank you for your leadership. I look forward to staying in touch with you, and we'll see you again in a few weeks.
Thank you so much.
This is Milton Segarra from Coastal Mississippi Tourism, and have a great day.
Follow SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on Facebook, facebook.com/SuperTalk MS Coast 103.1.